All right, good morning. It's Wednesday, May 13th. I hope you were doing well, keeping up with my class. I know a lot of you have emailed me questions and I've tried to respond to everyone. But if somehow I typically respond within 24 hours to 48 hours. But if I don't respond to you, just please email me again and say, hey, I just want to make sure you saw my email because sometimes I miss them. It's not intentional, I promise, it just happens. So as I said on Monday, I'm going to try to send y'all a video at the beginning of every class. So the idea is that you would watch it starting at 11 o'clock on Monday and Wednesday. And then this would be like my lecture part of the class. And then I'm going to try to interact with you through Canvas in some way. So today the idea is that I will be interacting with you through the Canvas groups that I created for you. But we'll see how this goes because I tried to do a conference yesterday with one of your classmates and didn't work. So we'll see how this goes. If not, the backup idea is to go to chat for any questions after you watch my lecture video. So as a recap, by 11 a.m. today, you should have already submitted your response number 3, which was on structure and planning and the reading examples. If you haven't submitted these by 11 a.m., please get them submitted by the end of the day today. And I will be giving you individual responses. If I've already graded every response number 1 that I received. And I gave everybody some kind of feedback. So I really want you to submit these assignments because not only are they for a grade, but I give you suggestions or comments, and also I look at your formatting to make sure it's correct. Every single person got full credit on the first assignment for those of you that turned it in, so good job. But going on in the future, I want to make sure you actually do the assignments correctly. Okay. So Monday, the goal was that everybody did participate in their groups. I created 5 groups. Each group has 4 students in it. And y'all were to just kind of introduce yourselves and then also tell me what you plan to write your first essay on for your narrative essay. They didn't really go as planned. Some groups I didn't have full participation. By now, if you haven't been participating in your group, I sent you all an email. So I sent out several emails this morning that went to the people that were not participating in their group. Hopefully it was just a confusion thing and you just weren't sure how to find the group. So I sent you an individual email and hopefully that helps you. Okay. Okay, so I sent out those emails and sorry, I had a problem with the child. I sent out the emails and those of you that got those emails, get to work this morning, catch up, respond to your classmates, write your introduction and tell them what you plan to write about, and then I will also respond to you. I did want to give a shout out to group number 3, which is Natalie, Alvin, Haley, and Ashlyn. Y'all, as of this morning, y'all have full participation in your group, and I am giving each of you 10 points extra credit because you're awesome. So when the rest of the groups catch up to group number 3, y'all will maybe get extra credit too. But for now, this group's the only one that got the extra credit. So nice work. Keep up the good work. Those of you that in group 3 and the ones that are also trying to participate, now that y'all have that kind of done, then the rest of the group interactions should go smoothly, hopefully. Okay. The next thing, for this first essay, I'm asking you to use BrainFuse. It's our online tutoring service. So I'm going to show you how to use that. So hang on. Okay. So if you go into home, you scroll down to this week that we're on right now. You'll see that it says essay number 1, online tutoring, BrainFuse. All right, it says instructions. For this first essay, students are required to have their draft essay reviewed for feedback by a professional tutoring service. Students will use BrainFuse online tutoring, which is available on the left-hand column of Canvas. Keep in mind that it takes up to 48 hours to receive a response when using BrainFuse, and please plan accordingly with the due date. So actually, I planned accordingly for you. So I made it so you have to submit it for at least 48 hours before your essay's due. So that means that you have to submit to BrainFuse before Sunday, May 17th. So this is how you access BrainFuse. This is, if you click this, essay number 1, how to use BrainFuse. Okay, so these are the instructions. So number 1, select BrainFuse online tutoring link on the left-hand column on Canvas. Number 2, select submit paper under the writing lab heading. Number 3, select personal narrative. Number 4, after you click analysis essay, you will need to select the requirements. Number 1, include instruction. Type personal narrative about a memorable moment in my life, a memoir, nonfiction. Number 2, areas for improvement. Select the areas where you need help. And number 3, upload the essay. And then number 4 is click submit. I should have a 4 there, sorry. So how to submit your tutor's report to Blackboard. All right, it's not Blackboard, it's Canvas. I should fix that. We don't use Blackboard anymore. It's so sad. Actually, it's not. Canvas is way better. So you'll go to check your BrainFuse's message center for their response, usually within 1 business day. But I have 48 hours on there just to give you enough time to think about it. You can access the message center from the home page if you click directly on your name. It's located below the logout. Number 6, select on the title of your essay. Scroll down the page and click on download essay for tutor response. There's your guide. Number 7, select a location to save it. I usually save things on my desktop because it's easy to find. You can keep the default name for the file, and you should have a Microsoft Word document or rich text format in the save as type box. Number 8, refer to the document from the location where you've saved it. And number 9, upload the file to Canvas, under where it says on our module, which I'll show you where that is in just a second. So it's called Essay 1 Online Tutoring BrainFuse. This is where you're going to submit it. If you need more information, you can click on that. And mine doesn't have it, but yours will have a submit button where you can submit the file from what BrainFuse sent you. So I'm going to show you how to actually find BrainFuse when you need to actually use it. So go back to home. So this is what your home screen should look like. If you slide down here on the left-hand side, it says BrainFuse Online Tutoring. And then you'll just click Launch BrainFuse, and that's how you'll get to it, and you will submit your essay to them, in which they will give you some sort of feedback. BrainFuse, you can ask them any kind of questions. They'll also look at your essay and give you feedback on formatting and grammar and all things writing. It's an excellent tool to use, and I recommend using it for all the other essays that we have in this course. For this first essay, it's worth 30 points. It's part of your grade. But for future essays, anytime you use it, I will give you extra credit on your essays. I just think it's great to have another set of eyes to look at your essays. And not only will your essay be better because you had a tutor look at it, you also get extra credits, so it's kind of a win-win. So I don't know why you wouldn't use it. And just as another note, I know I read it to you, but make sure you give yourself at least 48 hours to get your feedback back from the tutors, because they're going to have to read it, look through your essay, and then send you back feedback. In the future ones, just make sure you do it ahead of time, because you're going to want to take what they told you to do and then fix your essay. Yeah. Okay. The next point I wanted to talk about is on Monday, which is May 18th. I will be talking to each of you individually about your essay. So you'll already have your rough draft finished because you submitted it to BrainFuse, but you'll need to have that handy so I can go over it and talk to you about your essay. If we were on campus, I would consider Monday a writing workshop where you would bring your rough draft to class. You would have a classmate peer review your essay, and then I also would have a chance to look it over for you. So we're going to try to make it as much as like it would be on campus on class on Monday. So let's see. So I'm going to, in your groups, you'll be getting some information on Monday on how to peer review your group's essays. I'll tell you who's to peer review. And then also during that time, I will be looking at your essay as well and giving you feedback. Yes, so we'll try our very best to make it like it would be in my classroom. Obviously, we're not going to be sitting next to each other, but I will try to make it as close as I can. Okay, your final essay. So Monday you're going to be peer reviewing. I'm going to be looking at your essay, and then your final essay is due on Wednesday, the 20th by 11 a.m. I did get a question about that. So basically, I have all the due dates. So you will finish your assignments by the start of the next class. So we're kind of done with that. Cat's trying to get in my video. So by Wednesday, you'll turn in your essay. We'll be done, and we'll start working on the next thing. So the goal is that you have it submitted to me by 11 a.m. on Wednesday, the 20th. And I'm going to show you how to submit that right now. So I'm on the home screen, and we'll just scroll down. This is next week's stuff. Click on essay number 1, final. So you're gonna submit it to turnitin.com. It's a way to just make sure you're not plagiarizing or stealing information from the internet. So I want you to click on how to submit your essay, turnitin.com. Go down here. So how to submit your essay. To submit your assignment, click the upload submission button. It looks like this right here. Number 2, select the submission type you want to use for your assignment. You can submit a file, upload, and put text or additional options. I want you to submit it with a file, so you'll use Microsoft Word to do that, and you'll use your file. And review the information about which file you uploaded, and then click Continue button to preview and accept your file. Number 4, Turnitin validates your entry and prepares it for submission. You can see a preview image of your submission and preview text. To cancel the submission and use a different file, click Cancel Submission button. And to accept the submission and save the file for your assignment, click the Accept Submission and Save button. All right. This one is a really good one to look at. And actually, before you even start writing your essay, or as you're looking over your rough draft, some of y'all are awesome and have already written your essay, but this is a good place to check to see if you're on the right track. This is the rubric. This is kind of what I'll be using to evaluate your writing. So evaluation rubric. Obviously, you're going to probably hope to go for the A-B range. So these are just different categories that I'm going to be looking at. So sensory details, the story is rich in sensory details and creates a vivid picture. So I'm looking for as much description as you can possibly add in there. I want you to paint a picture for me, and I want to be able to see whatever memory it was. I'm really excited to read these essays after reading like half of you have submitted to me about what you plan to write about in those groups. It sounds like I'm going to have some interesting reading. And I think your classmates are actually looking forward, or your group mates are actually looking forward to reading your essays because they sound interesting. The narrative thesis, I talked about this, but your thesis is not going to look the same for the rest of your essays. But this thesis statement, it should be the story captures a memorable moment without telling the reader that the story is a memorable moment. So don't say, the most memorable moment in my life was blah, 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 blah. I want you to just show me through your writing that it was memorable. A hook. The introduction's hook catches the reader's interest and it makes the reader want to read more. So something at the beginning of your writing makes me want to keep reading. Number 4 is your body structure. The story has an excellent fluid structure that moves effortlessly through the narrative because it's organized well. Number 5, your conclusion. The story's ending clinches the piece well, logically bringing the narrative to a close. Word choice. The story uses rich, sophisticated, and varied diction that is appropriate for the narrative. So we'll talk about this more, but I want you to try to elevate your vocabulary. Don't just say... the bread tasted good. Try to come up with words that describe the bread. The butter melted into an intoxicating, scrumptious, things that make you want to keep reading. Like, that sounds really good, or that looks beautiful. Number 7, format. The story uses the correct MLA format, proper heading, centered title, 12-point font, Times New Roman font, double spaced, correct margins, and paragraph spacing. I will be talking about that in just a second, but this is a great place for you to look, and you'll also be receiving a rubric that helps you figure out what your grade was. And this is a borrowed rubric, so that's why you might see Professor Young on some things, because I have used another professor's stuff in the past. I've told you this a few different times, but I need you to download Microsoft Word. So FSCJ offers Microsoft Word for free to FSCJ students. So if you don't have Word on your computer, you can download it and just click this link right here and I'll show you how to do it. Another place you can get Word is if you click on your email and you go up to this little icon right here that says Outlook. You've got Word right here. And then you can start from there. Okay, the next thing that's talking about the essay. The final essay is due on Wednesday, May 20th by 11 a.m. I already said that a few different times. And then I just showed you how to submit it through turnitin.com. If you have any questions before the due date, before it's due, just email me and I will be happy to help you. So speaking of your essay, I want to make sure that you know how to use proper MLA format. For those of you that did your response number 1, I gave everybody some feedback on their MLA format, but this first essay needs to be in MLA format. Let's start it off right. Let's get that MLA format rocking. So I'm going to show you a great resource for your MLA format, and then I'm going to show you an example essay to just show you the format. So hang on one second. Close-up of my face. Okay. Type in OWL Purdue. OWL Purdue MLA format is what I clicked on in the past. This is Purdue University has an online writing lab, and it's amazing. It will help you with all your MLA format questions. But the one you're gonna have to be using sources at some point during the semester, so this will be on this website a lot. But the one that I want to just show you was the MLA sample paper. It will help you how to know how to format everything. And I click download because I just download everything. My computer probably hates me. Okay, so we're gonna go through the different parts of your essay according to MLA. And then I'm also gonna show you a way to cheat the system and kind of go faster through this whole thing. But at the upper right-hand corner is where you should start. You need to, in your header, you need to put your last name and your page number. One note, and I tried to catch it on every single one of you that did this. If you just put your last name and your page number into the header, it does not change your font to Times New Roman 12-point font. So you're gonna have to actually go up in there and click on it, highlight it, and change the font. All right, on the left-hand side, you'll have, this is called your, this is your header. So you've got your name, first and last name, your professor's name, your course name. So our course is ENC 1101, not English 1101, not English 101. It's ENC 1101. And then you've got your date. I want you to notice that the date, you need to put the day, the month, and then the year. I also want you to notice that there's no commas there. So it should be, let's see, you also always for MLA format and MLA essays, you always put the due date. So it should be 20 May 2020. In the center, directly under your header, you will have your title. It should be centered, and you should capitalize all the important words. So this one was Toward a Recovery of 19th Century Farming Handbooks. All the words were important except A, so they didn't capitalize that. Another thing I want you to note is that it doesn't say research paper. It doesn't say narrative essay. So I want you to title it something related to your essay. So whatever the memorable moment was, maybe you could put that in the title to make the reader be like, ooh, that sounds interesting already. I want to keep reading. Some more things to note, you indent the first line of every paragraph. So the essay should not start at the left margin. It should be indented. Another thing to note, I think I already said this, but it's in Times New Roman 12-point font. Also, it is double-spaced. The entire essay is double-spaced. You'll see next paragraph is indented. This is a research paper, so some of the stuff will be different. You're not really going to have quotes in this essay because it's from your life, unless you're just quoting a friend that you remember word for word. And then when we get to actually citing sources, I'll show you how to do your in-text citations, but we don't need that for this essay. And at the end of this essay, you'll see that they have a work cited, and we'll go over that probably a million times, and you'll probably think about it in your dreams, but we don't have to know it right now, so I'm not going to go over it for this particular essay. All right, now I'm going to show you the hack of the century, but you still need to double check it. So if you go into your Word, mine's down here, go to Home, mine looks like this. Let's see, I'm at the search bar. Uh-oh, hang on, I'm in the wrong place. 1 second. All right, I had to click on something weird. So go to templates, or go home. I go to more templates. Y'all's might look a little different than mine. And then I click up here to search. Are you Elsa now? Good job. MLA. Click on MLA, and you'll see MLA style paper. Just click the first one. And then down here, says create. Now you'll see that you can put all the information in. So it says last name, page number, your name, instructor's name, course name, and date. You've got a title, and then you've got all this stuff. Obviously, you're going to have to cut it out because this is a research paper with pictures of beautiful fish. But it gives you the basic structure. So it's a very good place to start. I do want to note that on some of the response ones, I did notice that some of you use this wonderful hack, but you didn't change the last name, so it just says last name. Unless your last name is actually last name, you're going to need to change the name to your last name. Okay. I don't want to save. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, so as far as your groups today, I want you to be working on the grammar. The grammar video that I sent you, I asked you to take notes and watch it. Well, today I want you to actually practice with those rules. So in your groups, I have made a little discussion board. So you have to go to people. I need to rename these. I'll just call them groups because it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go to my wonderful group number 3. They're the ones that are rocking it. And you'll see that I have a new discussion called Grammar Workshop number 1. And it says, in your groups, I want you to come up with a collective list of the comma and semicolon rules from the video. Once you've done that, as a group, I want you to come up with your very own example for each rule. I'll be taking your examples and use them as the basis for our first grammar quiz. Make sure you give me the example and explain why you've used the comma or semicolon rule correctly. So I put the video here just in case you can't find it. So the goal is you'll come up with all of those rules in some form of list. It doesn't have to be super formal. I just want y'all to come up with each rule and discuss them in some way. It can be bullet points. It can be like, hey, I think this was a rule. Was this a rule? Am I getting this rule right? I don't know. Am I? I don't know. So these groups I have for you I'm thinking to be more informal communication with your classmates like you would if we were in the classroom. And I want you to come up with the rules, and then also I want you to come up with your own examples. My goal is that you would make them fun and exciting so we're not bored, but make sure that you're using the grammar rule correctly. And I don't expect you to be a grammar champion at this point, but I do want you to try to figure it out, and then I will be interacting with you in these groups to make sure that you are on the right track. One thing that I did want to note is that she talks about fanboys at the beginning of the video. I don't know if I can hold my phone and write at the same time. So if you don't know what a fanboy is, these are the coordinating conjunctions. So that's how you can combine two sentences, two independent clauses together. So fanboys are for, okay, I cannot watch through my phone. I'm gonna have to, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So these are the fanboys, and these are the ways you can combine two coordinating conjunctions. So if I wrote, sorry, this is not, okay, did a nice tour of my house. I love tacos. Tacos make me fat, unfortunately. Those are two independent clauses. They're two sentences that could stand alone. If I wanted to combine them, I could pick one of these fanboys, these coordinating conjunctions, and combine the sentence. I'm gonna pick but, and I'm gonna write, just make this into one sentence. So I love tacos, comma, but they make me fat. Okay. So I've taken one of my fanboys from over here and I have added it into my into my two independent clauses and combined them. All right, I hope that helps with that rule. And then from there, I just kind of gave you one of the rules, so you already got one. So just to recap, you need to take, in your groups, you need to come up with a list of comma and semicolon rules, and then you need to come up with your own example for each. So I'm only expecting one example per each rule, so that means y'all can collectively do them together. So I don't expect each person to come up with their own rules. So just as just kidding, I gotta go up here. To recap, you need to, if you haven't already submitted response number 3, I know a lot of you have, which is good, 16 of you, no, 10 of you. 10 of you, you still have 40 minutes. It's only 10:20 right now. So if you haven't done that, get that in by the end of the day today. You also need to submit your essay to BrainFuse by the end of the day on Sunday. On the 18th, we are going to be doing a writing workshop as best we can through online instruction. And then on Wednesday is your final paper. It's due. So the idea is that you would have started this video right at 11 o'clock. So it's about 28 minutes into it. I will be on the chat, and I'm going to try to be working in the groups to see how these are working. I'm going to be contacting people individually if you're not online, because you're going to get counted off because you need to be here. And I'll be on the chat too if you have any questions for me. Hope you all have a good Wednesday, and as always, email me at kgooding@fscj.edu.